This is a hard one. I do hard ones all the time. Controversial at that. But today we talk about the child. A child under 16 being sentenced to life in prison. Life without parole. We're talking about maybe a 7 or 8-year-old. Rape, murder, robbery, and they're going to try this child as an adult. By the time he's an adult, he will have had a lot to think about. By age 18 or 20, there's nothing and no purpose in giving a child time to go to school in prison. That's all he knows. And he's safe in the juvenile system, safer than he will be when they transfer him at 18 to the adult penitentiary. And they will. They are warned. Keep your mouth shut. Say nothing. Keep to yourself. Stay out of trouble. Everything will be okay. But then there's those who just can't. They're raped. They're beaten. Food taken away. And if in solitary confinement most of the time for defending themselves. And the other guy gets away with it because he's older and he's smarter and he knows how to pull these kids. And the murder transpired about 7 or 8 years old. Can't give the child a death penalty under 18, so they give them life without parole. They are allowed to go to court and charge these children with adult as an adult. Is it right? No. There's so much more that could be done for these kids other than throwing them in, giving them school, no proper psychiatrist there. And why is everybody in the family going, oh my God, where did I fail? When they would be questioned, aunts, uncles, grandparents, and parents. Every game would be gone through, every movie. See, some kids can do fine. Movies don't affect them. Games don't affect them. I know. There's some kids out there that are twerk just a little bit. And it only takes a couple of movies, a couple of kill games to set the kid off. And there's the bully factor. We have kids hanging themselves. Babies. And babies causing the suicides. Of course, there was one that a mother did all the typing on the internet and caused the kid to commit suicide, and she played like she was her daughter. More investigation needs to be done into the whole family unit. The whole unit, not just the child. But the child's been out in the street for a long time. How come he's been out in the street for so long? I've seen it. I've seen it in Seattle on the streets. Hanging little groups. And the oldest takes care of the next one, and the next one takes care of the next one. How come a child as early as 3 or 4 is on the streets and being raised by a 13-year-old? Parents were drug addicts. They dumped him. Decided they didn't want to kill him. They let him go. Figured they could figure it out. The kids were lucky. No pedophile would get a hold of them. And that's why they hang out in groups. To protect. But some aren't so lucky. And then when one of them finally flips out, because something happened on those streets. And nobody can get through to why. Could have been his baby sister was killed, thrown in the garbage, and nobody noticed. Nobody cared because they're street kids. It reminds me of the serial killing that goes on here in Washington State, and most of the people who get killed in a serial killing are prostitutes and children by pedophiles. Who are we? What are we? Green River Killer was able to make a deal that if he decided to give the sheriff's department, the prosecutor, the whereabouts of some of the graves, that he wouldn't get the death sentence. And that SOB got his way. But there was a glitch. There was also some other bodies found in California and other states that he can get the death penalty for. That's the only thing that saved him and destroyed him. Why are we allowing this? Why does it take 20 to 30 years for an adult that's on death row to be on death row for 20 or 30 years? And yet we take a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old, or a 10-year-old and we try them as an adult. What are we thinking? You're not going to stop them from later on committing a crime. Actually, you're enhancing it, because the minute they go into a adult prison, those kids are screwed. You try eating out of a trash can for a while, or maybe 12 hours a day playing killing the cop or raping the chick on the corner in one of these games. Where's mom and dad? Oh, they're working, or whatever they do. Put the kid in prison? Well, the kid needs to pay. Get him out at 18 or 21, then put an ankle bracelet on him for another 3 or 4 or 5 years. That would get him to work and back. Got to work. But you also don't give a kid a few weeks sentence and slap their hands for rape and murder. You just don't. Because it's rape and murder. I don't care if they were 8. So, we either underjudge or overjudge. Does anybody just sit down and say, let's look at everybody here, the impact of a child? We're not talking about an adult right now, because to be honest with you, people like Charles Manson should have been gone a long time ago. You know, he was lucky. He fell right there in the cracks when they outlawed the death penalty, and then they brought it back, and they decided, well, we can't kill them now. And that son of a bitch is still alive. And we're giving him heroin treatment every now and then when he gets too blamed out. Well, California does. But does it matter? State to state to state to federal. Seriously, America, we're all paying for it in one system. See, they have a middle prison, and then it shoots off everywhere. They talk to each other. And now we have prisons that are on the side that it's like, I don't know, a workplace where if you need work, you call in and you say, you got a truck driving job for me? And they make money off those prisoners, a lot of it. So why are we keeping people in prison that are on death row for 20 or 30 years? They should technically be gone in 5 years. And 5 years to me is too much. Yet, we'll put a child as an adult in there forever, which does nothing but make them vile and worse than the people that were there before them. What are we thinking? It doesn't matter anymore. Just a bunch of loudmouth people. We're older, bitter. What the hell is wrong with any of us? All of us. They're kids, for God's sakes. Age 21 with an ankle bracelet. What the hell else do you do with a baby?